Ashley Hunter and I'm a junior here at the University of Arkansas. We'll be looking at a sculpture that is located at the Crystal Bridges Trail in Rogers, Arkansas. The sculpture is called Buckyball and is created by Leo Vitriel. Leo Vitriel was inspired to make his Buckyball sculpture while looking through the Science Time and New York Times. This is where he first saw a buckyball, which is actually a member of carbon-structured called fullerenes. He already liked using geometry in his work, and the hexagon was one of his favorite shapes to use. So he decided to make this 3D model into a sculpture that looked like a carbon-60 molecule. The medium of this piece is LED lights that show 16 million different colors, which he thinks would have had the effect of looking at fire. He stated that somehow it causes a response in viewers that brings all our feelings that we would have when we look at things in nature, our response to a sunset, or to the surface of water, or a fire. Originally, Buckyball was only supposed to be a temporary piece of art for Crystal Bridges, but on April 29th of 2014, it became a permanent part of the collection. I couldn't agree more with Leo when he says there is something happening that is hard to describe. When you're looking at this piece of art, what you see is indescribable, and I think that is exactly what he was trying to convey to everyone. It is something you see and talk about, but it's something others need to see for themselves. For this reason, this piece had to have a home in Northwest Arkansas. Buckyball's shape is comprised of hexagon and pentagons. While these shapes come together to form two spheres, there is one larger sphere that has a smaller sphere located inside of it. The sculpture towers at a whopping 30 feet. Since this object is human-made, it has a geometric form, but it is sculpted to look like something from nature, which has an organic form. I believe that the most important part of this sculpture is the light, because the sculpture is covered in LED tubes that are capable of displaying some 16 million distinct colors. The colors are so capturing and ever-changing that you can't help but continue to be sucked into watching it in awe. Guessing what color is coming up next is close to impossible. Because there are so many different colors, there's obviously different hues, values, and saturations to make the distinct differences. There are light colors, dark colors, bright colors, and dull colors. Light is something that has no fundamental physical meaning but is defined by human vision. So when describing the sculpture, it is hard to convey the wonders you see, but it's just something you have to see for yourself. While it is hard to fit it under a specific methodology, it is noted that this is obviously a piece of modern art, but I believe it to fit under expressionism and realism for a few reasons. When I look at realism, I think of how it is based upon nature and outdoors. This piece was created to look like a carbon-60 molecule, so it is something that is based on nature, even though it is something you can't see with the naked eye. It is now seen by scientists, and it is made available for us to see how it is sculpted in nature. Leo used this to make what you see, though it may not be exact, it is still based upon nature. I also see expressionism in this piece because in the Adams text it says, artists most interested in expressive possibilities of colors we call expressionists. There is nothing more important in the sculpture than color. Expressionism was used to create mood and emotion. As I stated before, Leo Vitriel created this piece, and he says, somehow it causes a response in viewers that brings out all our feelings. Out of these two I've chosen above, I think that we will talk about how this piece may have been influenced by Expressionism the most. When people look at Expressionism, they mostly think of how painting was changed, but the movement also included several sculptors who changed traditional conventions of the medium. So even though the Buckyball is based on something influenced in nature, he did not stay true to the colors. Artists in the 1980s and 90s, also like Dan Flavin, based their work on abstract expressionism. Dan Flavin started using fluorescent light as his medium for sculptures. They both use light and colors to make you feel something. What he is making you feel are the things that you feel when you look at nature. I first saw this piece walking on the Crystal Bridges Trail on a fall evening returning from a concert. The leaves were turning. I saw Buckyball and I just had to stop and stare. My friend and I were in a hurry, so I could not stay and continue to watch the entrancing colors change, but I was left with them embedded in my brain. When I found out about this project, there was no doubt in my mind that this is what I wanted to learn more about and tell others about.